The Last House on the Left is an exploitation film that was directed and written by Wes Craven. In fact, it was his first film. You might be more familiar with the 2009 remake, but I should mention that the 1972 film itself is also a remake, kinda. It was based on a Swedish ballad called Tor's Daughters in Vange, which had previously been made into a film in the 60s called Virgin Spring. Both Virgin Spring and The Last House on the Left, as well as its remake, and another film in 2005 called Chaos, they all take the source material and punch it up quite a lot, but the basic structure is the same. Anyway, as I mentioned, this is an exploitation film. It's the kind of film that exploits the audience by exploiting the characters. They show gratuitous nudity, hardcore violence, and they don't give a shit. These movies aren't trying to make a point or win any awards. They're mindless entertainment. To put yourself in the right mindset to watch one of these movies, you have to go in knowing that it's trash. To expect anything less is to just ask for it. And The Last House on the Left certainly delivers on the trash quota. The entire thing is a pointless exercise in making you cringe, and well, it does what it sets out to do, that's for sure. The main character is Mari. She just turned 17, and she travels to a nearby city to see a concert. Mari's parents are concerned about her going into a bad neighborhood to see the concert, and they feel that Phyllis, her friend, is a bad influence, but they let her go anyway because she's 17 and practically an adult. The two girls are immediately endearing, you can't help but like them, which makes the cruelty that they endure all the more sickening. In the city, there's a group of criminals who recently escaped from prison and are hiding out in an apartment. Their leader is Krug, a real twisted guy who keeps his own son under his control by keeping him addicted to heroin and forces him to be a rapist and a murderer when it's clearly not in his nature. That's how evil this guy is. But the rest of them are no better. They're a band of murderers, rapists, child molesters, and overall shitheads. Mari and Phyllis run afoul of them while trying to score some marijuana, and they get locked in the apartment, beat up, and brutally raped. Then they're locked in a trunk of a car and driven out into the country, actually very close to Mari's house, where they're subject to more cruelties. The criminals force them to fight each other, force them to have sex with each other, beat and rape them some more, and cut them with knives. They try to devise a plan of escape, but it doesn't work. They catch up to Phyllis and brutally kill her, and Mari doesn't last much longer. After being gang-raped again and traumatized with seeing Phyllis's remains, they make her walk herself into a lake where she's shot to death. Then they clean up and they go to the nearest house, which they don't know is Mari's house, and they present themselves as traveling salesmen whose car broke down. Mari's parents are worried because they haven't heard from their daughter, but they're hospitable, and they offer the group a room for the night. However, Mari's mother sees Krug's son wearing the necklace they had just given Mari for her birthday, and she finds blood-soaked clothes in their bags. She figures out what's what, and with her husband, they find Mari's body. They then return to the house and enact their revenge on the criminals in an orgy of shooting, stabbing, throat-slashings, chainsaw, and one guy gets his dick ripped off. It's pure carnage, and it has almost no redeeming value whatsoever. Honestly, I can't recommend this film. Yes, it does what it sets out to do, but it never does anything more than a delivery system for violence and sex. It doesn't have any sort of point, because it loses the very important lesson of the Swedish ballad. In the ballad, the two girls are sisters who are given a choice: marry the criminals or die. They say they'd rather die, and, well, they're killed. The father kills all the criminals except one. He demands to know where they're from, and he finds out that the criminals were his own children that he had abandoned years ago, and he forces the survivor to atone by building a church, which he also assists with for his own atonement. It's about how violence begets violence, but that point is absent in The Last House on the Left. The point seems to be that fucked up people do fucked up things. The film tries to get you to root for the parents at the end as they go on their bloody rampage of revenge. But it's hard to identify with the parents because the actors are so bad. You don't even buy that they're upset about their daughter being killed. When they find her, it's all like, can't we do anything for her? No, she's dead. Oh no. There's none of the hysterics or rage that you'd expect for parents who lost their daughter. They're pretty much just turned into slashers at the end, cold and calculating. Their killings lack the fuel of emotion that they should have had, and I think that they could have saved the film. They don't come off as righteous avengers broken down by the loss of their child and reduced to savagery. They're just going through the motions. Like I said, even in the frame of mind of an exploitation film, I can't recommend this. It's all pretty much ruined by two bad actors playing the parents. You can't feel for them, and therefore the ending is just more gore rather than being as satisfying in some way. Because by that point in the film, I'd already seen so much cruelty that I just felt jaded by it. That's not to say that this movie got nothing right. It's crap, and it's self-aware of being crap, but it takes more than being self-aware to make crap good. It really needed an extra push that it feels like they didn't even try. 3 out of 10.